right, so where we left off, we had just finished our first geoprocessing, and that was clipping our streams to our Rocky Mountain National Park boundary. So next, we will start answering some spatial questions. Where are potential impacts for water quality? We're going to do these by using more geoprocessing tools. So first, we're going to look at where streams cross trails, or where trails cross streams, either one. To do that, we are going to use a tool called Intersect. So once again, up at our top, Analysis tab, if we click on Tools, it brings up our Geoprocessing tab where we can find tools. So I will click the text box at the top, and I will search for Intersect. And it'll bring up this Intersect Analysis tool. I will left click on it. Brings up the Intersect tool. My input features are going to be, from the dropdown, Rocky Mountain National Park trails and Rocky Mountain National Park streams clipped. So this is going to look for every point at which these two lines cross. So the output feature class in my CLTL Day 2 database, I'm going to name this Trail Stream Crossing. So what this tool does is, where the geometries of these features intersect, so if a line is intersecting another line, like right here or right here, those two geometries cross at a single point. So it will create a point for each one of those, and it will contain, that point will contain the attributes of both features that are intersecting. So attributes to join, all attributes. Output type, same as input. All we really are worrying about right now is adding our trails and our streams, our clipped streams, and then clicking run. Uh-oh. Empty output. Oh boy.
Do you have anything selected?
I didn't think I had anything selected. No. That's interesting.
There's a picture of what the result will look like on the slide.
Oh, there is that. So on the slide here, where they cross, you should be getting a point placed at each of those crossings. I'm gonna try running this one more time. Trail stream. Oh, I know why. It's trying to create a line, so all of the lines are null geometries. Haha. Output type. That's what my problem was. Okay, so starting over, with the Intersect window open, your input features will be Rocky Mountain National Park trails and Rocky Mountain National Park streams clipped. Your output feature I'm going to call this points. We'll call this trail stream crossing point. Our output type, we want point. The problem before was that it was the same as input, which was a line. And where a line crosses another line, it does not make a line, it makes a point. So that is what we want. So now when we click run, you can see it comes up with points on our map where streams cross trails. And we can click on that. And I'll pick something wet, like a beach. Oh boy, that's really annoying. I'll make it smaller. Okay, so we just intersected our streams and our trails. This could be a place where bad things happen to water. What else can we do with these simple selections and intersections? We can also do what's called a buffer. So if we want to find, say, campsites that are close to streams, we can use the buffer tool. So again, in our analysis tab at the top, click tools. I already have buffer here, but in case you don't, just type it into the text box at the top and you will get buffer. Select buffer. Now we want to find campsites that are close to water. So we will buffer our streams, and we can just call it streams buffer. And let's try feet, because we're in America and we use feet. And let's say we want to find campsites that are within 200 feet of these streams. So our distance value, we can type in 200, and then the linear unit from our drop down, we will select feet. And for simplicity's sake, in this dissolve type, we are going to dissolve all output features into a single feature so that it will make one big buffer polygon. And we'll click run. And we'll see what it does. Great. So you can see streams clipped buffer gives us a buffer around every stream. And that buffer we can select. Well, let's actually use our selection. Select. You can see it is selecting the polygon surrounding each and every stream. Now we can clear our selection. Now we will use the select by location tool. So in our map tab at the top, in the selection box, we will choose select by location. And it will open up the Select by Location window on the right. Our input features are what we want to select. So we want to select campsites that are within that buffer. So our input features, we will select our Rocky Mountain National Park campsites. Mine is XY2 because I did it twice. Yours would be XY or whatever you named that feature class when you created it. We want to select the campsites that intersect or are within, and our selecting features are the boundaries of what we want to select from. So our selecting features will be that buffer we made, the Rocky Mountain Streams clipped buffer. Because we want to be within, we don't need a search distance. We're going to create a new selection. When your window looks like this, you can click Run. And it will select 138 campsites. To check that, we can right-click on our campsites in the table of contents and open the attribute table. You can see 138 of 220 are within 200 feet of a stream. We're not actually doing anything with that right now. That is just to show you how to use buffer and select by location to create a selection of streams. We'll close this and we'll clear our selection. There is another way to do that that does not involve buffering. So let's say we wanted to find, let's say we wanted to find campsites that were close to ours, but we didn't have that buffer. We could, using the Select by Location tool, do the same thing. So with campsites selected in our Select by Location, and to get to Select by Location, once again, on our Map tab at the top, in the selection box, click on Select by Location to bring the Select Layer by Location tool up. Our input features will be our campsites. But now our relationship is going to say within a distance and our selecting features will once again, or will, instead of being our buffer, will just be our Rocky Mountain National Park streams clipped. And we will say within, change the units to feet. The search distance is 200. So we are selecting campsites within 200 feet of streams. Again, we have a new selection. And when we run this tool, it will once again select 138 features. So we selected the same campsites without using that buffer or intersect. So there are multiple ways of doing things.